I've spoken about this before, but I wanted to utilize it as an introduction to this video. So I think this might be a two-topic video. One being my introduction in the form of a little mini rant, and then the main subject matter, if I even remember to get to it by the time I'm done ranting. But one of the things that I've talked about is who we choose to run to for our relationship advice on the internet. If they have the larger channel, that's where we tend to flock. You know, an object with greater mass tends to have a stronger polarity. That's why the rich get richer. That's why the bigger platforms get pushed into the algorithms more, because they're larger enough and they bring more people in, right? The observation that I've had, though, is that a lot of these dating platforms, just like in the red pill manosphere, they tend to start off with good intentions. In the red pill manosphere, it's usually some guy noticing that there's assistance needed amongst young men. So they start off with good advice. Eat clean, exercise, stop chasing women, focus on you, build yourself up, read books, make yourself more marketable, make yourself more valuable. But then the thing is, and I'll get to the dating side, but the thing is that happens in a lot of these communities with a lot of these startup content creators is they get infected by a disease. Instead of the clap, you know, oh damn, it's burning down there. Instead of getting affected by the clap, they're getting infected by clout, right? Because what I've noticed is there's always, especially in the red pill manosphere world, is like they always start by helping young men, but then there's always this natural progression to becoming a woman hater. And because in that world, if you say anything nice about women, you're a simp. They walk all over you. You're spineless. But that simp word is hilarious to me. Wait, because all women aren't bad, I'm a simp? Ugh. And they become toxic as fuck. And that's when I lose them and I start clowning them and joking them. They go into the other extreme. But the same thing I've observed in the dating world. We see this divide between men and women. Like I've been arguing against since the inception of my YouTube career. It's like there's this divide between men and women. And people like me, we notice that and we want to, hey guys, stop fighting. We need one another. This is them. This is the elite people throwing this division in between us. Stop fighting and listen, you know? And you start off doing that. But what ends up happening though, the clout comes in. And you start uploading clips, you start uploading shorts, and the ones that get the most views are the ones, oh, that's what people like? Well, I'm gonna start talking like that. But what I've noticed is, the internet is a very negative, toxic place. So the videos that tend, not always, of course, but in the dating manosphere, dating podcast, all the above, that whatever umbrella that is, it seems that the most controversial videos get the most clips. So the ones where a man is losing his cool, a woman is losing her cool, they're going back and forth, they're both shit talking one another. That's that drama. That's what gets both sides going. That's when people can pick a team. Oh, I'm for the guy in this one. I'm with the woman in this one. Why can't all women behave like this? Why can't all men do this? Because you ain't shit, niggas ain't doing it. And that's how you get the back and forth. That's how you get the engagement, and that's how your channel grows. But then people lose track of what they originally intended to do. They wanted to help, but to get the more clicks, subscribers, views, followers, and all that types of stuff, they start to promote the drama. You see? And to make their channel get bigger, they use drama to bring in the crowd, to bring in the audience. And I think that that's where most people lose track of what they initially started off doing. So with me being single for so long, I've been watching these people, these platforms. I've seen some small platforms grow into the biggest ones, and I've seen this happen in real time. That's why I've been saying, guys, be careful to who you listen to, because you are listening to chronically single people that are in and out of relationships every other month. And you're listening to people that have had multiple failed relationships. These are the people that can get you into it. Maybe their advice is very good for getting into a relationship, but you need to realize that you need to stop taking advice to them where they themselves have not succeeded, right? It's like, because I'm feeling like a little bit more qualified now. I mean, anything can happen, knock on wood, but it's like I just hit a milestone in my own personal relationship. I'm very private about my stuff, but to give you my credentials, it's like we just hit our 1 year anniversary a few weeks back. So it's like some of the things that I have been harboring and thinking about, my observations, my pieces of advice, my little gems of wisdom throughout the years. Okay, I'm in a relationship now. Let's apply what I've been thinking to see. And we haven't even had so much as an argument. And I was actually going to talk about something different, but let's talk about the argument. Okay? Relationships, right? arguments are inevitable. Inevitable. Because if you are a strong man, that means that you've attracted a strong woman. A strong man is going to stand on his principles. A strong woman is going to stand on hers. Well, there's going to be an inevitable point where the male perspective and the women's perspective clash, and you guys need to discuss it. The reason why it's becoming an argument is because emotions are getting involved, right? In an entire year of dating my girl, we haven't had one argument. Now, we've had some hard conversations, and we still have a handful more. You know, some of them can get real tough. You feel me? But we have not had an argument. We have not gotten to the point where we're calling each other out of our name. We're not stomping around, slamming doors, breaking plates, throwing cups across the room. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why this happens is because what I've noticed, and one of my observations of the world, is that a lot of people have emotional immaturity and emotional, what's the word? Emotional immaturity and illegible. What's the word I'm looking for? Basically, they don't know how to articulate their emotions. As I'm trying to say that, I can't find the right word. But let's just go with emotional intelligence. Because if you were intelligent, you would then know how to articulate what you're feeling inside, right? So, let's start with men, right? In an argument where a man is getting frustrated that he can't get his ideas across to his lady, right? For the super duper low level man out there, he starts name calling. He starts calling you, man, shut up, you stupid bitch. Blah, 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 blah. Whoa. That's like the ultimate level of disrespect. And ladies, if a man calls you out of your name to that level of a degree, I don't give a shit. You are not dealing with a man. You are dealing with an emotional boy. And when you're dealing with a grown-ass emotional boy and he's ready to call you out of your name, call you a bitch, call you a stupid whore, all these types of stuff, I don't give a fuck how mad you are. You should never talk to your woman like that, and you should not tolerate that. Now, I get it. Everybody gets one. You get that one. Hey, don't ever say that to me again. You know, and vice versa. You little dick ass nigga, what the fuck you think you talking to, bitch ass motherfucker? You get one of those, if even, depending on the level of, you know, the level of the infraction. But like, you get one of those. Hey, don't ever talk to me like that. If you get mad, you better walk away before you say some stupid shit like that to me. Like, that's some shit I do not play. I don't talk to you like that. Don't talk to me. You know. But another reason why we have this, we never had an argument, is because my own temperament. You know, I'm calm, cool, and collected. It's like I got two modes, on and off, hot and cold. So it's like, look, I'll talk to you, boom, boom, boom. I'll reiterate it. I'll try another way to say it. I'll add a little bit of emotion to help you to further press my point. But if you're not getting it and we're at this crossroads, okay, I got to take the gloves off and say it how I got to say it. Now, of course, once again, not in a disrespectful way. But this is the thing is, a lot of people don't know how to articulate their emotions. They don't. And a lot of people, especially when you grew up in a broken household, you know, you didn't see how a man handles this situation. You didn't see how a woman handles this situation. Let's say you don't have the mom or dad, whoever you didn't have. You didn't grow up with this. But then not only is it that you didn't learn it the right way, even if you had both parents. That's why it's great to have both. Because when you have both, you can now also learn how to not do it. So if you happen to have both parents and they're going off at one another, you as a child, you don't replicate that. You be like, nah, I don't like when mommy was yelling at daddy. I don't like when daddy was putting his hands on mommy. I don't like that. And the reason why things get violent is because it's pent up energy, pent up emotion that you don't know how to express. So you get to the lowest expression. This is when you get into energy, frequency, and vibration, hippy dippy shit. But like, nevertheless, it's like physical stuff is the lowest expression of any energy. So instead of verbalizing a non-physical expression of your emotions, a lot of people break shit, throw it. You just, because you can't verbalize it, so you act it out. You see what I'm saying? And that's when the big mistakes really happen. You see? So this is why, like, especially for those of you in your single phase, for those of you that are in and out of relationships, take some time to yourself. And you know, you're not supposed to dwell on the past. And with the example I'm about to give, you're not dwelling on the past. You're just editing it. You still have to remember what the truth is. You know, what happened and how it went down. But you know how you're in the shower and you have an argument with someone, and you're like, damn, I should have said that. Do that same thing when you're talking to yourself. Okay, wait a minute. So yeah, 4 relationships back, yeah, she called me out of my name and I lost my cool. Yeah, I didn't have to throw that couch through that window, bro. Yeah, no, I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to kick that dog. No, I didn't have to do that. That was crazy. But why did I get so mad? Because I couldn't find the right words. Oh, okay, so I need to sit down with my emotions. Okay, when I was talking to her right there, I was pissed the fuck off because she wasn't letting me talk. Okay, so what could I do differently there? I could either yell at her, I can out-yell her, or I can let her say everything. Let her get everything off of her chest. Listen to her. And then when she's done talking, hopefully she's done talking so then I can speak. And then I'm gonna just keep letting her, every time she wants to interrupt me, I'll just sit back and let her talk. And then when I find a break in what she's saying, I'll try to talk and rinse and repeat. Okay, let's try that next time. And trial and error. But you have to keep elevating, right? If you're in a relationship where you've broken the plate, and you've been in 4 relationships where you've broken the plate, okay, maybe you need to stop doing that, right? If you are always getting spoken over and you think that yelling is the answer, try what I just said. These are just hypotheticals. I'm just throwing stuff out there, But it's just like you guys need to work on this type of stuff. You guys need to realize, too, that men and women think differently. We think differently, and we have to do our best to compromise. Women need to embrace, and once again, I'm not saying that women need to start wearing baggy pants and wearing Timbs and shit, but women need to start to understand their masculine side a little bit more, which some of them are hyper masculine as it is, but nevertheless, a whole nother conversation. And some men need to understand their feminine, right? And that doesn't mean going around wearing lipstick and wearing a dress. That's not what that means. It's just we both think differently. So, okay, as a man, I am logical, right? Just going with the stereotypes. I am logical. She is emotional. She's speaking with emotion. So I am feeling frustrated. Let me base my new logical argument based off of the emotion of anger. I am angry with you because of this, and this. I am disappointed. I expect more from you because I want us to win. So I want us to do this. And when you're not doing this, this makes me mad. And I want the best for you, so X, Y, Z. You just expressed anger in a calm way, right? Ladies, y'all have to remember too, though, that you are dealing with a grown-ass man. And when y'all be doing that little snuffing thing y'all like to do, and you motherfucker, you because you be that, y'all need to stop doing that. Like, I know I'm talking to the hood boogers out there, but y'all need to stop doing that shit. There's no reason that man should ever put his hand on a woman. But when you are already riled up and angry and you start literally poking the bear, eventually you're going to get the claws. I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm just saying that this is a sequence of events that is highly likely or has a higher probability of occurring during a heated situation. That's how those inevitable mistakes happen, even if it is that one time. But ladies, keep your hands to yourself. Men, keep your hands to yourself. Express yourself verbally. Write it down. Stop yapping and write down everything. I don't care if y'all write damn novels down. Write it all down and give it to one another. Do something like that. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why these arguments are occurring, like I said before, it's a lack of emotional intelligence and emotional immaturity. Okay? You guys all, men, women alike, need to focus on this and build themselves up. Because what you realize is a lot of y'all don't realize, let's just say arbitrary numbers, level 1 to 10. A lot of y'all have level 2 mentality. When you don't get what you want, when you don't get what you've seen on social media, when the girl can't she can't twerk in the handstand on the dick, because you've been watching so much porn, when she can't do these things, you're out here looking, you're getting frustrated internally, you don't know how to express it. Right? Take these times with yourself to really get down to, number one, what you want, and boost yourself up. Level yourself up mentally and emotionally so you now attract level 3 people, level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, some of these will take trial and error. Hopefully you can have this trial and error in your relationship, aka nothing toxic, nothing abusive, anything like that. Not that kind of trial and error. You get one time to put your hands on me. Likewise, male, female, you get one. You don't even get that one. That one time, I'm packing my bags. I'm gone. I don't care. I don't care how sorry you are. You should never put your hands on nobody, But nevertheless, when you guys grow, when you realize, this is where that accountability word comes back up. When you are accountable, but yeah, I fucked that up. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did that. Oh my God, okay, yes, he did like his Star Wars collection. I did not need to break his stuff. I didn't need to bleach his clothes. I didn't need to burn. I didn't need to spray paint his car. I did get a little caught up there. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. Okay, Z snapped backwards because I messed up there. You know what I'm saying? It's like if people sat down and boosted their emotional intelligence, we have a lot less issues. We'd be able to spot out red flags. We'd be able to know when enough was enough. You know, we'd be able to know whether something is worth salvaging or it's easier to just dust our hands up and walk away. You know, gentlemen, going back to that, putting your hands on people. You know, if you are at the point where you want to put your hands on your girl, she ain't the one for you. It's just that simple. Because one day you ain't going to have that same level of restraint. You're going to make that mistake that fucks up your entire life. And likewise, like I said before, ladies, stop doing that poking shit. Stop doing that poking shit. Stop poking our emotions as well. Yeah, men, we're supposed to be tough and hard and all that type of stuff, but a lot of men have very fragile egos. Ladies, you've seen it. Say a dude has a tiny dick. Say he a broke boy. Say all the stupid things that the feminists of the world be saying. And say that to your man. You hurt our feelings. And a lot of men that don't know how to deal with hurt feelings are going to hurt you back. You know what I'm saying? So both sides need to enter this relationship, enter this discourse with respect for one another. If we just have respect, emotional intelligence, we'd be in such a better place. But those are just my thoughts. Like I said, 15, 20 minutes, 16 and a half minutes. I could have gone on forever, but I got a few more videos to record. So till the next one, peace.